Hi, everyone. Welcome to our last topic on intellectual property law. So my question to everyone is, you must recognize these images in front of you, right? Amazon, Nike, Just Do It, the apple with a bite out of it, the Target, right? We know exactly what these images are and what they stand for. What we're going to talk about in this last PowerPoint is trademark law. So just by way of review, remember we talked about patent law, which governs your inventions, your mechanical inventions, technology, drugs, medicine, and even design. And then we talked about copyright law that protects your creations like books, poems, music, lyrics, choreography. But this is a little different. This doesn't look like, this isn't really art. I mean, I guess it's sort of artful, but what kind of protection is afforded to these designs? And that is called a trademark. And the reason that it falls under its own separate category of law, again, is that it's not exactly the same as patents and copyrights, is that when you see these images, what should immediately pop into your head are the stores or businesses that are associated with these images. I assume that they would. We can name a lot more. And that is called a trademark. A trademark can be a name, could also be a word or a symbol or a design, like I just had on the previous slide, that are all used, and here's the two key words, that they are in commerce, that identifies these words, names, or designs so we can distinguish, and that means like set apart and note these goods from somebody else's goods. So that I'll just go back to the slide. So that when you see this image right here, this Nike swoosh, you know immediately that this product is made by a company called Nike. You know that, and it distinguishes, it sets apart that item from the other items. Like just if you go into a sporting goods store and you see a sweatshirt that's just plain, you can say, okay, plain sweatshirt. And then you see a sweatshirt that has a swoosh on it, your mind immediately should say, oh, Nike made this sweatshirt. This is a Nike product. And there's a lot of power in that, isn't it? Don't we assume certain things that are good, like when we see those images? And that's the protection that businesses want through a trademark. So again, just like we did with the other two, we're going to talk about where trademark law comes from and then how to obtain your trademark and how long it lasts. Okay, so excuse me. So trademark law, just like with patent and with copyright, is also governed by federal law. But once again, we bring back our friend, the Patent and Trademark Office. So just like with patents, to obtain a trademark, we apply to the Patent and Trademark Office. And similar to the other types of protected intellectual property, you need to be the first to use the design. Okay, but here's a couple of key differences between trademark law and other areas. Trademark law, in order to obtain the trademark, you must already be using that image, that word, that slogan in your work, in commerce. This can't be a situation where like, today, I think that in 10 years, I'm going to create a business where I sell my product. Like maybe in 10 years, I'm going to own a business that sells coffee mugs. And I come up with my image or my design today, but I'm not actually doing that business right now. I can't obtain a trademark yet. My trademark must be being used in commerce. And in order to keep that trademark, I must continue to use that trademark in commerce. So if I shut down my business and I stop, Nike stops producing sweatshirts, they just get out of the business, or, clothing, whatever, and goods altogether, they can't keep using the Nike swoosh. It has to be in commerce, being used today. That is a little different than the copyright. If I am a budding musician and I'm writing song lyrics today, but I don't intend to make the music, publish the music, I don't even intend to have anyone else, I don't want to make money from my music. I just don't want anyone else to steal it. I can just get the copy right now and hold on to it. I don't have to actually prove that I'm selling or using my music in any way. So that's one of the big differences here. The other big difference is how long a trademark lasts. So originally, when you obtain the trademark, it lasts for 10 years. But unlike copyrights and patents, a trademark is renewable. And it's renewable indefinitely, meaning it can be renewed time and time again, so long as that item, that trademark continues to be used in commerce. That's why businesses that have been around for a long time, think like Coca-Cola, General Electric, Ford Motor Company, companies have been around for over 100 years and we still use the same trademarks. They only stop being trademarks if the company decides on its own not to renew the trademark, which would not be a smart idea, or there's one other way. We'll talk about that afterwards. But in general, we keep the trademark for as long as we want, as long as we're using that item in commerce today, the company can keep renewing the trademark. All right, so let's just talk about some of the interesting names and images for trademarks. We can trademark made up words. We can trademark real words that don't even describe what it is we're selling. So for example, we can trademark, like I think your book uses the example of Starbucks. We can trademark the word Starbucks. We can also trademark, a really good example would be the word Prince. Prince makes tennis rackets. The word prince already exists, right? We know what a prince is, a prince, a princess, a king, a queen, but we can trademark the word prince as it describes tennis rackets because the word, even though it's a generic regular word, we're using it to describe something that is different from what it is. And so those are terms that we can trademark. We can also trademark suggestive terms. One of my favorite companies, I grew up in Florida, is Coppertone. Coppertone is a company that makes, suntan lotion. But the idea that, again, if your skin is white, then you put it on your skin and it makes your skin this nice copper color and does not burn. Hence the name Coppertone. How about Greyhound bus? That should evoke the image of something moving very fast, like a greyhound does, like in the racetrack. So the suggestion is that the bus will get you there faster than other methods of travel. Don't know whether that's true or not, but you can see the idea of the suggestion behind those. So what can't you trademark? Well, you can't trademark a general word like water bottle or book or shoe. But again, if you connect those words to something that it does not describe, then you might be able to obtain a trademark. What's a really good example of that one? Apple computers. Think about an apple. How is it that Steve Jobs was able to trademark the word apple? An apple's just an apple, but not so when he connected it to computers, telephones, software. He was able to obtain a trademark on a word that is otherwise generic and would not be trademarkable. All right, let's get back to how do we lose the trademark. We already mentioned that one of the ways to lose the trademark is to not renew it on time or let it go. Now, most companies are not going to do that because they want to keep the trademark and they want people to continue to associate the trademark with their product. But every once in a while, a trademark becomes so well known that we forget that it was actually something different than the item. Here are some really good examples. When an item becomes so generic and so well known, it loses that word distinctiveness, like it's no longer distinctive. So companies that have lost the trademark are Band-Aids. I don't know about you, but when I go to go to Target and I want to buy Band-Aids, I don't ever say, where are your adhesive bandages? Although that's what they are. I say, where are the Band-Aids? If I'm doing a home renovation and I put a dumpster outside my house, I don't say, where is the large trash receptacle that goes in front of my house? I say dumpster, even if it wasn't made by the dumpster company. Same with yo-yo, trampoline, zipper. It's actually kind of fun to Google the names of these. But these are all companies and entities that have lost their trademark because they have become so well known in the community. They lose. So it's a little bit of a danger for a company. You want the trademark protection. You want everyone to associate the swoosh with Nike or the Target symbols with the Target store. But on the other hand, if you become so popular and so well known that you're part of society itself, you end up losing that distinction and losing the trademark. Although I didn't create a slide, I just want to also mention that there is a trademark infringement lawsuit, just like there is for patent and for copyright. That if a company feels someone is stealing their trademark, they can be sued, or they can sue that company for trademark infringement. All right, well, that brings us to the conclusion of our discussion of patents, copyrights, and trademark. I look forward to reading your comments on the discussion board, and have a good week, everyone.